probably one of the most consistent golfers of all time.
Oh no! Like, whoa! Oh. I'm sure my family was like, "What is he? Why? What is going on over there?"
Shooting even on that grass.
Oh lordy!
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're the one that told me.
But
hey,
the point of golf
No.
is to get it in the hole.
so
So you just want to start talking about like the players? Do we want to go there?
I think so.
Okay.
And do you want to start? I don't think we should start with the putt. I think we should start with Scotty,
Scheffler.
Mr. Scheffler,
What about Scotty?
being a two-time back-to-back,
The only
only one
back-to-back
in history.
in the 50 years of the players to go back-to-back.
Yeah. And to think about how many players that is
50.
that have been.
Well, not quite. I mean,
Well,
because
you know what I mean.
there's been a couple multiple winners.
No, I meant more like how many amazing all-time greats have played there.
Oh yeah, because it's the fifth major, right?
Right.
It's really the fourth major. Let's kind of be honest. Like,
Yeah.
so I went through. I was trying to name the four majors, and I was stuck on the fourth. And I could
The Open,
easily
right?
name. No, the PGA
no, he hates the
Championship.
PGA.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, see, exactly. Like the PGA is not really. I mean, it's a major, but it's.
I'd say the Players is more of a major than that.
I think so. I mean, again, they call it the fifth major for a reason. So,
We're
but
just
yeah,
gonna call it the fourth major.
we'll call it the fourth major. We'll call the real fourth major the fifth major. Yeah.
All right.
So you heard it here, like I don't know, probably 9th or 10th, because a lot of other people say that. But yeah, it's the
Because
fifth.
it's at the same course every year too, right?
Same course every year. Yep. Which is only true of the Masters.
Yep.
With the majors.
Yep.
Everything else rotates. But yeah, I mean, so for him to go back to back, and everybody played, like all top players play in that, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know there's any that sat out this week.
None that I can think of off the top of my head, because I think even when you go to your normal tournaments, there's always like 3 or 4 names on the leaderboard there on the top 10 to 15 that you're like, who is
Yeah, who's
that?
this guy?
But
But you look at it
You
now
look at
and
the
you're like,
players,
ah,
you're
you
like,
can
I can
you can
name-
you can see
yeah.
everybody that's on there and whatnot.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's I mean, what a feat to go back to back with those fields that they produce. I mean, that's pretty sweet.
yeah, I just never would have guessed it'd be Scotty.
I mean, he's
He's great.
consistently world number one, like week
And-
after
and He's
week.
probably one of the most consistent golfers of all time.
Ooh, you're gonna go all time already with him?
No.
Like-
Like I said, one of, and when I mean one of, I'm saying like top 10.
Ooh, this might go on for a while.
You think so?
Like top 10 consistent golfers.
I'll say
Is that
going
gonna
to
be like-
decade. Now
Okay. Oh,
I'm taking out
Okay.
because I didn't watch. I didn't watch all the old time greats, so
Yeah.
I can't speak to.
Yeah.
I don't know
the
their numbers.
the
I'll be
Jacks, the
honest.
Arnolds,
we-
the
Yes.
Sneeds,
we
the
started-
all those people.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Because we
So-
started with like Tiger when he was like kind of headed towards his back nine.
I started with Freddie Couples.
Yes. My mom loved him.
Like,
so
that's
he
Dad
has
your-
loved Freddie Couples.
Freddie Couples.
Why? No clue.
his swing.
Probably just.
I mean, it
the
is
song.
a
my God.
smooth swing. It's
I was
great.
a big Jim
Yeah.
Furyk fan.
Same. I loved
I'm
him.
ashamed to
Why?
say it. I loved his swing. I
Just
wanted
because it
his
was so
swing as a
different?
kid. I think I hit an absolute cut because of him, because I tried to mimic his swing. Because it was so different, it was so stand out, and it just, that's all they talked about. And I was like, I want people to talk about my swing like that. And then I realized I don't want
I
people
don't
to talk
want
my swing like that.
Yeah. And
But
you,
being that good with that weird swing,
yeah,
it showed like you can do golf however you need to.
yeah.
Because it's like, you know how like golf coaches had those like, they did the hanger drills and all that stuff. My dad was always just swing however you swing.
Yeah, do your
And he's
just
like,
do your
look at
swing.
Jim. He always, look at Jim Furyk. He
Oh,
swings
man.
all screwed up and he's won a major and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it does go to show that you can have like, there isn't a box that everybody needs to fit in with their swing and do that. Like you can have your own little nuances and if you're taking lessons and things like that, then if somebody's trying to change a lot of that stuff to fit you in the box, then I don't know if that they're the right person for you.
Right.
But
right. So
yeah, so
back
so
to the
back to
Scotty
Scotty.
thing. Yeah.
So yeah, so he, I mean, yeah, you can say consistent of the decade for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see his, because I've seen like random things of his finishes, just
Oh,
last
I saw one
50
today.
tournaments.
Crazy
They're like,
consistent.
It's
geez,
insane.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
He like never misses cuts
Then you
ever.
get to Xander Schauffele, who is just always, at least in my recent memory, just blowing it at the end.
he's just
And I feel
he's
so bad.
always the bridesmaid.
He's
Yeah,
always
never the
there,
bride.
but not quite.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Well, the other thing too with Scotty, he was only big like 2 or 3 years ago is when he started like really winning tournaments.
probably.
So, yeah.
'Cause it
like-
was full swing the first season was when he was like coming up. So that would have been like
That's
2021.
That was last year.
2 years ago.
Yeah, so like even you could even say last 5 years for him. 'Cause
Yeah.
beyond that, I mean, I think he's my age. I think he's 24.
Yeah, he's young.
He's so young. So it's like
But he did. He was a guy that like once he kind of burst onto the scene and got
Yep.
his win, he was like, I'm just going to be super consistent from there.
I think it was waste
Because
management
it's like, hey,
too.
who's this guy that? Yeah, I don't
Right.
know what his first win
I
was
think it
or
was
his
waste
first.
management.
Was it?
Or Wells Fargo? Does that come before waste management?
I don't know.
He won
I
one
don't
and
have
then he
that
won, I
memorized
think
yet.
then he won waste management.
Yeah,
I think.
but
I don't know.
Yeah, for him to go and be super consistent, like yeah, he's there. Like
Yeah.
that's what he does.
Yeah, I saw that today. It was from I think Dan, and I saw that on Twitter. It was or X or whatever
Yeah.
it's called nowadays, and it was like he won, like got like I think the worst one on there was like 35th. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
That's still doing okay.
Yeah, his bad weeks are still 35th. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
I mean, that on top of coming in his last 21 holes, he played 11 under.
Yeah. Oh, that was ridiculous. I heard that stat too.
Yeah,
I heard them
that's
talk about that. That's
insane.
crazy.
Because he was 9 under going into 16 yesterday,
Yep.
which was Saturday. Because I don't know what day this is going to come out.
Yep. Yep. So we are talking on Sunday. As they finish the players today.
Correct.
Yes. But yeah, Scotty going back to back is pretty cool. But that putt on 18 by Wyndham Clark,
That was rigged.
it was rigged,
It was rigged. I don't know how they did it, but it was rigged.
but they did it.
was
Some
rigged.
sort of like crazy magnets, like golf ball magnets in the bottom of the cup to push it out.
I-
That thing was so in.
I've seen lips like that in real life by very amateur golfers. I don't think I've ever seen a lip like that from a pro golfer.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was. It seemed like it was more than halfway down, and then
yeah.
somehow rode the roller coaster around and did whatever physics it did and came out. I mean, you saw him. He almost like early stepped it
He did.
twice.
Yep.
Like twice.
Oh,
Yep.
he was ready
Like,
to go.
He was ready to just blow up, and then it went the. I mean, what an emotional roller coaster that is. Can you imagine that? Like, you think you just drain this putt, however, 15, 20 feet, whatever it was, like
Well, there is a
drains
video
it for the tie.
Yeah, there's one, and I don't know who it was. It's an older video, and it's the guy putts it, and it goes straight into the hole, and it does the exact same thing, like dunk dunk, and it comes straight back at him, and he slams his hat. I'm sure you've all seen it. I'll
Yeah.
have to show you, but he like slams his hat on the ground. That one was like that.
Yeah.
You told me to look it up, and I was just sitting there, and I almost did the like you
Oh,
said. I went.
Oh,
I was
that
sitting there.
was-
I was sitting there watching it, and I like gasped out loud. I was like, "Oh no!" Like, whoa!
And
I'm sure my
that-
family was like, "What is he? What is going on over there?" But like, I felt so bad for him, and you're like, "What a crazy finish that would be to get into a playoff with Wyndham and Scotty, like two golfers that are crushing it right now.
Oh, I mean,
like top of their game,
Absolutely.
they're doing great, and then to have them go into a playoff." And I think, I mean, we can even go this route too if we want to start talking about it. Like, with the way that Live and PGA are going, I think PGA needed a huge finish this weekend.
yeah.
Like, so I don't know if it's Scotty winning that does it, because he now went back-to-back weeks, right? He won last week.
I hate to say this, but Scotty's not the guy.
No.
he's not interesting enough.
No.
I hate to say it, but Brooks Koepka, I'm not a fan of Brooks Koepka,
Sure.
but he's interesting,
Yeah.
right? He's flashy. He's a guy you want to watch on TV. Scotty is a phenomenal golfer, but he's so mechanical.
He's kind of like your financial planner.
Right,
And
there
just-
you go.
Yeah.
He's your accountant. That
I mean, he has
that's
the
a really
slide,
good golfer.
I guess. That's really the
Like his
only
crazy
oddity
footwork?
of his game.
Yeah,
Is
about
the
his-
shunk.
Did you
How
see
his
the picture that
Feet
people
don't stay on the
posted
ground.
that they said they wanted the new players logo to be? And it was
No.
him jumping almost off the ground. And so they PGA tweeted out a picture like
Oh.
the players logo as him like jumping off the ground.
Nice.
It was pretty cool.
That's pretty funny.
But no, I think you.
But yeah, I
need-
don't think he's he's not going to be the personality that takes it. Now, if like Rory won this weekend,
I
like,
mean, that would've
obviously
been
that
crazy.
would have been huge
Yeah.
for the
So
PGA
you're
just because of the
saying,
voice
like-
that he is.
Like, who takes it over for Rory, essentially? Like, it was Tiger, then it was Rory for a little bit. But to your point, now Liv has Rahm. They have like
They got Brooks. I mean, Brooks
he's
is
a fun guy.
is a personality.
Rahm's a fun guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Rahm is a great
And he
guy.
has the short swing. They have like Kepka when he
Yep,
was relevant.
Koepka's a
that dude was
personality.
hitting
when he
drives.
was
him and-
relevant. The man's still
No, I
very,
know.
very good.
Well, like when he was coming up, like
Yeah.
his
No,
drives
absolutely.
were insane, and then his putter was just insane. Like
Well, then-
Shambo.
Then you
Yeah,
had then
yep.
you had the Bryson Brooks thing.
Yep.
Like them going back and forth, and now they're both on Live. So there's like you've got that dynamic is gone from the PGA.
yeah,
So, I mean,
That's-
you've got Rory, that's a personality. I'd say you've got Ricky Fowler, who's got the personality,
I would die for Ricky Fowler.
but is just
lie.
he just can't
Ricky.
The
just
fact that he
can't
wanted
get
Detroit
there.
made me so happy.
Like he can't get over the
We'll interview him
hump
this year.
with
No.
all that.
I mean, we
But
get Ricky. I'm kidding. No, but that's the thing is you have the three, right? You have JT, Spieth, and Ricky.
okay, so I'm gonna call you out on Spieth on that one.
I'm saying the three like kind of friends that are all in a
Yeah.
major slump.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's
yes,
the thing is
100%.
like none of them really are breaking out. Spieth had the one little
Again.
good stint, right? Ricky, I mean, early on in his career, sure, but never was really consistent. I mean, JT, I got mixed feelings on the guy, but
I'm a fan.
He'll win the non-existent major every so often.
I'm more of a fan of JT now after watching more of his behind the scenes from Full Swing because I love how much crap he talks.
Yeah.
it
That's
makes
fun.
me so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you look at like so he's got the personality, right? Like
Yes.
he's got a good personality. He could be, if he can get back on in the winner circle and get his name out there and his personality out there. Ricky, Jordan again, great golfer. He's got a little bit of the personality going on and some of the fire when he's on the golf course and
Yep.
stuff like that, but still kind of like he's probably like the reserved friend out of the three of them.
Yeah.
In that group.
Yeah.
It's going to be Tom,
Who?
my boy Tom. What's his name? Is it Tom Kim?
Tom Kim. He's
Tom Kim.
hilarious.
Oh, Tom Kim.
Kim's going to be the man.
He is
Tom Kim.
hilarious.
If he continues
If
on
he
the
can-
trajectory is
Yes.
on,
Yep.
he
If
has
can
the
start winning.
personality
Yep.
He's
to
hilarious.
carry him very far. I just love that he acts like he's 20 years old.
Yes, he does.
It makes me so happy. Like, good for him.
So
Act like
he
a
was
kid.
the one when I was in Phoenix. He was the one that got the crowd going. Like I would say, like the only one that really got the
Yeah.
crowd going on Friday at 16.
Okay.
Like we watched probably most groups come through, and he was the one that kind of made a big deal and got things going and stuff
yeah.
like that, and really kind of seemed to play the crowd up a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Now I wasn't watching everybody specific, like super intently, but you can hear it though.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
when you heard some buzz going on around that.
He will be the man.
No, my favorite is like he's like talking about it was Full Swing, right? Yeah, I imagine that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm 20, and then I think he was driving a Lamborghini Urus, which is like a $300,000
Yeah.
SUV. Just chill as a
Just
cucumber.
might as
Oh,
well.
And he almost won the British Open with I think he had like a high ankle sprain, which is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
And my favorite scene of him, and this I think a lot of people skipped over, is when he's in the car and his mom calls and he doesn't answer. So he for sure does not want her to say anything on camera and just goes, yeah, so like I have a very loving mom, which is
he
cool.
does.
Which is cool.
And,
That's
like,
fantastic.
Stuff like that. That just like makes him so
Yeah.
relatable. Of like,
Yep.
if I was on camera, like, who knows what my mom's gonna say when
Yeah.
I pick up the phone? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's it. I think
got-
he'll be the.
I've got two good ones for you. I think, and they're not great, but they're good. I think Max Homa's great.
Yep. I like Max
And
Homa. I think he's got a good
I know
personality.
we mentioned him earlier, Xander, but he's just like you said, he's just always right there until the end. Almost how Ricky used to be. How Ricky on every tournament going into Sunday was right there, and then he would just post a +3 and be out. But
Do you think Xander's got the personality though to really like
Yeah, when you-
carry the tour to
I-
like would he be one of the guys you give the flag to, like the PGA flag to?
like the YouTube stuff shows his personality more, which
It does.
There,
Yep.
that's when I saw Max Homa, and I like
Yep.
he's that way, and then he's buddies with Joel Damon, which I love Joel Damon.
Joel, I think I think we'd all say that Joel
Yes.
Damon garnished a ton of fans
Yeah.
Oh,
after the full swing
Yep.
came out.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, he said
then-
it. He's the worst player with the most fans.
Well, I think his line like is something along the lines of like, well, somebody's got to be number 70th in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Like, what a great line. Like, and I mean, yeah, we all know he's competitive. He's going out there. He's trying to
Yeah.
win. He's doing all that stuff. He takes the game very seriously. It's
Yep.
his job. Like
Yeah.
all of that
He's
stuff
playing
there.
professional golf at
Yeah.
the end of the day, and I
Yep.
mean, you have to have some kind of edge to do that.
Oh, yeah.
There's no one that can just walk out there and be like, yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm just gonna let me give this golf thing a try. See what happens here. Like, oh, cool, I'm on the tour. That's sweet.
what-
Why does anybody do this? But you
What
know,
about Hovland?
Victor.
He's got the big.
I like Victor
He's
Hovland.
got
He's
the
got
big
the big smile.
He's really good.
he's got the, yeah, he's got kind of like the dopey looking face though, dopey looking eyes. But I do like it. He kind of looks like a cartoon character, which
So,
is cool.
yeah, so who
I
else
like
is
it.
in that? Who
So-
else is in that top?
I'll give him that. I do like Victor Hovland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even you think back to it, even too, like I grew up with like the Dustin Johnson. Well, same, like it was
Dustin
It was
Johnson,
Dustin
was-
there for a while, then it switched, to Kepka,
And talk
switched
about
to
Mr. Personality.
the Bryson thing. Yeah, they do. They have a lot of those like stars from when I was growing up over there.
Yeah, over on Live.
Yeah.
So
But if you think about it, and I know this is the stereotype of live, but like, there aren't, and that's where I think live is gonna struggle. There's no major, because they do have a couple. I forget his name. Went over there, Cam.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Australian.
Cameron
Yeah,
Smith.
Cam Smith.
Yep.
He's good, and he's younger.
They
fantastic.
have
Yeah,
right, but-
Joaquin Neiman. He's super good.
Joaquin
Right.
Neiman. Oh, he is smoking hot
Yeah.
right now. Man,
yeah.
he's playing really well.
They don't have like a lot of young
Yep.
like up and coming stars
Yep.
yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, where I think they might get them though is, I mean, you can't tell me at 21 years old if someone offered you 80 to 100
A
million
gazillion dollars that you're
you're
out.
not going. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
out.
And
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be that way. I think they'll get more into the contractual stuff than
Yeah.
that. I think that was their. I mean, they were going to pay Tiger like a couple billion.
$1 billion, yeah.
But that was just to get them started. I think them being able to play the majors, they have to figure out some qualification type thing because I don't really turn on the PGA Tour, but if I would watch golf, it would be that because I'm not just going to be like, oh, they're playing in London this week for a whatever trophy. Like, the PGA, like the players, the players,
Yeah.
even like
And you
the-
watch for the courses too.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
like-
So I think too that might, and just going into the future for their business, like if they can play the super cool, like I've seen really cool Dubai courses, and like they'll show off more of the world than the PGA does. I know the PGA is in America, but still, like they'll show
Yes,
off.
necessarily.
They're
they'll
all
show
over
off-
the world.
Yeah, they'll show
Yeah.
off a lot more of the courses, and I wonder if they'll be able, because their field's smaller, isn't it? Don't they
Oh,
have
yeah.
a smaller group of guys?
Yep.
Yeah. If maybe they'll be able to go to maybe like the smaller courses, like I don't know. I think Tobacco Road would be a super cool one.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen pretty cool videos of that place. There are kind of courses like that I think it's always fun. We talked about it when we were at Coyote. What so and so would shoot here, or like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it would
what
be
a
cool
pro
to just,
shoot at your local.
yeah, like
Public
how they would
course.
attack it. I think that would be something super cool for them to play the quote unquote like cool courses, the public courses, and all those things. Like a lot of like back home, we have the John Deere Classic.
Yeah.
And if you go and play that like either a week before or a week after, it's like I walked up there, I'm like, this grass is different. It just feels different. It's
Yeah.
like I've never
Yeah.
been on a golf course that's this nice. So it's like I would love to play there a week after just to see how it feels.
Yeah.
And how the greens roll. I guarantee you they're like ice. The rough is atrocious.
I'm shooting even on that
Oh,
grass.
lordy.
Oh boy.
I'm telling you right now.
Well, that's
we won't
where,
know,
You
and
wouldn't-
we
yeah,
probably
won't know.
never will.
Yeah.
But I'm
But
telling
so
you.
just say it right now.
Yeah,
There it is. So we'll timestamp this that Mike goes even
absolutely.
on any
Except
tour
for Augusta.
course
Except for Augusta. I'm
the
not
week
even
after
gonna
it plays.
attempt on Augusta. I don't think
I'll
I could,
attempt it.
I mean, I'll attempt. I don't think I'm gonna break 90.
No. I wouldn't even know what to shoot out there.
I think I don't do well with hills.
There's a couple out there.
Yeah.
Just a few.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what's so weird too, and like I'm still newer to golf and all that. Like even like I hit one into the lake because I was on a downslope. I don't
you
even
hit one to a lake.
stop. Yeah, I hit it into the lake a lot. But like I
First
don't-
time.
right? I don't even think about
weird.
that. Like
You know
I'm
what that felt like.
starting. I'm starting to get to that point where I'm like, oh, I'm over here, and I know what it's gonna do. It's just how to alleviate those mistakes. And
To
it's
adjust
like,
to a different.
like the links
Angles and
courses
stuff like
we've played a couple of those just accidentally around here because I play different courses, and I'm like, every shot I hit, I'm not like Shepherd's Hollow is one of them. You'll never hit a shot flat ever.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
so undulated, and it's you don't think about it because we're playing in the trees and like I know Michigan is a little hilly, but it's not like Colorado.
We're playing in the trees.
I play in the trees.
I was in the trees all day today, so I feel your pain there.
But
Yeah.
that is very relevant. Those links courses are something else.
But I think that's one of the cool things about golf is that, like, obviously not every course is the same.
right.
Not every hole is the same. There's different styles of courses as you get into like links and you got the woods and whatnot.
There's different ways to play different grass types.
Yeah, different grass
know,
types,
I mean,
all
you go
that. Like
down to
there's
Florida, you got
so many
Bermuda.
things that are different.
Right.
But like, I'm sure if you talk about like a hockey rink, like ice might be different on one rink than another, but for the most part, it's all the same size.
Yep.
Basketball court, all
Right.
the same size. Yeah, there's gonna be dead spots in certain courts and things like that, or whatever. But it's always 10 feet high. 3-point arc's always the same distance. Like all that stuff there where, I mean, golf is just so different.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's somebody like you, Cole, that's just kind of getting into it, I can get around and see those different things, or, Mike or myself that have been playing for a while, but still are nowhere near where we want to be. It's just, I don't know, so much fun.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about it is all three of us are above average, but all three of us want to get so much better.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And that's just crazy because in most sports, like in basketball, like, yeah, I can go play with anyone then. Like, I'm above average. I'm not going to be terrible, but like, I'm not going to go shoot around
Yeah.
in my free time. Like,
Yeah,
Driving
we
range?
played a game
Oh, yeah.
a month or so ago together with a
Yeah.
couple other guys, and yeah, I know my role on the basketball court and what I do and my limitations and stuff like that. And
using his
I-
long arms.
I am not going to go and practice free throws or jumpers or layups, or I'm not going to go practice any of that stuff because I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I care,
But
like
you
again, I
would-
want my competitive
competitive,
juices
yeah.
get flowing
But
and start
we'll
coming out.
stand just over
But-
here for till probably 3 a.m. tonight.
I
working
will
on wedge
be
shots.
over. Yes, yeah, I will use all that Kubika Golf here has to offer, and yes, I'll use the short game area. I'll go hit balls in the net. I'll smash some drives into the simulators. Cole, you can work on your bunker play
Yes,
over
I
in the
can.
practice bunker
Oh,
right
yeah.
over there.
I will
So,
come home full of sand.
full of sand, but that's
Yep.
fine because next time you're in all of the bunkers on the golf course,
Yep.
you'll get out of them.
Yep.
You might
They
even,
won't be sandy.
You might even go bunker to bunker. That'd be fun.
I might. I might do the whole. Oh, I'm gonna actually hit it into this bunker.
Yeah,
because
I'm gonna
over to
aim
the
for the
left is
bunker.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna find that like, all right, where's my miss? My miss is gonna be that
Yeah.
bunker.
Well,
and then I'm gonna go hit there.
The one par 3 at Coyote on the back. I was with you, and you said just push act like you're throwing the sand with your hand, and I like almost made it the one time. That's the only good bunker shot I've hit in the last however long. That's it.
Did I
Well-
really say that?
Yeah, you were you
That's terrible advice.
half-heartedly taught me that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You told him to like fake like he hit it, throw sand up, and then take the ball and throw it out the bunker.
I have done
Is that what you
that.
told him?
I did that
Yeah.
with my dad.
Okay.
no,
Yeah.
I told
So
you
that
to
was the best
slap
bunker
the
shot?
sand.
Slap. That's
Oh,
a
slap the sand.
Act
Slap.
like you're slapping it with your club.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did that. I slapped the absolute you know what out of it, and it just went right next.
There you go. Perfect. Well, now you can go practice over there.
Yeah, that was for like 8, but it's fine.
I mean,
okay.
you know,
Eight's
next
better
time,
than a 10.
next time it'll be for a 6, and then maybe for a 4.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
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 But
I've been doing better
Um,
on the par 3s lately.
there you go.
Much better.
That's good. Those are the ones that you want to par. Those are the hardest ones.
Yep.
So if you can master those and then take care of your 4s, and then hopefully your 5s are your easier ones for you, and that's how
Well,
we
that's what
score.
was tough
But that's the
about-
crazy thing.
Yeah, that's what was tough about that course we played Tuesday. It's like what 5 par 4s in a row, and like par
Yeah.
4s are the ones where you can't. I feel like they're harder than the 3. I don't know why. Well, I also couldn't hit my driver, so that
You
helps
run
a lot.
the struggle bus a little bit with
Yeah,
the driver.
but I mean, even that, like those are just. I mean, they're just so hard. Like at least a 5, you know, you pretty much have like one stroke of leeway if you want, but rather than trying to hit the green on 2 all the time, because you know, I'm a machine with eagles.
yeah.
It's so silly. Like that's my biggest thing this year.
Eagles all
is-
the time. They just
is-
come raining
and,
down.
And we talked about it the last time we were together. Is like that playing smart golf.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why we like Coyote so much. It forces you to play that way, and it's like
I
you're.
just want to smash the ball though.
I know.
I
So
want
that's
to
the thing.
So,
So-
bad. And that's what I.
Yeah.
well, and
I
you hit your
did-
driver so good too. Like it's
It's been
I
you've
have
been out
been.
with the driver.
I've
It's-
been.
it's awesome
which is
to
weird,
watch.
but that and my long irons all of a sudden, because I was
Same.
hitting my
Yep.
4-iron pretty well today. But that's what I was gonna say about like some courses. I think the par 3s it depends because I know if you go play Farmington, which I don't think you've played Farmington.
Good track.
All of their par 3s are really short.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
hitting 9-iron, 8-iron max into
Yeah.
their par 3s. Those are going to be easier than your par 4s. But when you go to Fox Hills, Golden Fox, right? You got 180 to 200 on
Yeah.
most of those par 3s. It's going to be rough because
Yeah.
most par 4s you're not hitting a 4 or 5-iron into a green unless it's one of those holes where it forces you
That's
to
a
play
target.
strategic.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan of those. Like when we played a couple weeks ago, and I think we hit one driver on the front
at
nine
Pine Knob.
up at Pine Knob.
Yeah.
Like one driver off the front
Well-
nine, and then, I mean, we could have
Yeah.
pulled it on other ones, but
Yep.
it like, I guess it was maybe that strategic golf and playing a little bit smarter and taking a look at what
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, you could hit 5 and then maybe a longer, and then maybe have like an 8-iron in
It's
or
a
something
tight
like
course.
that.
It is a tight
Yeah.
course.
And then on the back, I think we hit a couple more.
Yeah,
we
there was
definitely hit
more
a
on the
couple more
back.
driver
Yep.
opportunities on the second 9.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I like getting the driver out and hit. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of the
Yeah, my only
kind of the fun of it.
I'll say my issue is I don't like when courses are really open because that's when I push myself too much.
To go.
That's when I try to absolutely lay.
That's
on
when you need Caddy Steve to help you out and tell you, don't do this, Mike. Hit this club.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I think I was actually talking to someone about that today where I was like, I was watching, I think it was Shoffley at the end talking to his caddy
Okay.
through a shot
Yeah.
when he was in the Pine Straw in 18. And I sat there and he was talking through it and I turned and I was like, you know, if I had a caddy to talk things through with, I think I'd play pretty well.
And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna
So
have
we're gonna see.
we're gonna have our round where we caddy for each other,
Try it out.
and we tell you each other what shot you got to hit, and then you have to hit the shot.
Yeah.
And then you get a couple vetoes.
When we played, we kind of talked each other
Yeah.
out of a couple of shots there too.
Yeah, even on the tee box, we're like, is this a driver hole or not a
Yeah.
driver hole, and whatever. And I've talked to Cole. I know I talked to you about it. I don't know if I talked to Mike about it. the one round where I nerded out and went on Google Maps and mapped everything out and kind of wrote down like, all right, it was a new course for me, so I didn't know the course at all.
Oh.
And I mapped out like, all right, hole 1 is going to be a 4-iron if the wind is this way, like,
Yeah.
and kind of just mapped it all out. And I shot one of my better rounds there. I was definitely in the 70s. And one of the guys that I was playing with was like, hey man, like that was really fun watching you play. Like the front 9, I think I shot a 37 or 38,
Right.
like on the front. And he was like, that was really fun because it was just kind of, yeah, again, it was just plotted out.
Yeah.
And you just kind of go and do your thing. And there were par 5s where I pulled 4-irons and they were all pulling drivers. And they're like, oh, you give me a hard time for pulling an iron. And then when I knew that it wasn't like it's not a 2-shot par 5,
Right.
you got to go 3 strokes anyway, then we were both hitting our approach shots from the same spot. Even I think 2 of them ended up in the water by the hole because their second shot was just too far.
Right.
So just, I guess, course knowledge obviously helps if you know
Yeah.
the course from playing on it, but just being strategic with it all and sticking to it. And I got away from it on the back a little bit because I think I started playing well and I was like, I can hit drive.
Right.
I'm hitting this club well. Let me hit driver a little bit more. And then it starts going awry and like, I just stick to the plan,
Yeah.
stick to your game, and good things will come. But it can get kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not, yeah, I guess boring is the word. Just,
I think it depends on who you play with.
yeah.
Because when you're playing with guys who are doing the same thing, it's not as boring because when you're all in the same spot, I think it keeps that like inner game going of like talking to each other, talking through those things where it's
Yeah.
like when you're 40, 50, 60 yards back from everybody else, even if they're in the woods, you're kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
hi.
You guys are
How's
way
it
up
going
there.
out there?
We'll see you later.
Yeah. And
Have
I
fun
think-
all the way up there.
Yeah, I think that changes just the overall morale of your round. And so when you go out with guys who are like when you're doing it together, I still think it's not as bad.
See, but I was beating them too. So
that
that's
doesn't-
kind of like,
You gotta have
that kind of kept me going.
You wanna-
It
Now,
was like,
are they as avid as you at golf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna
yeah,
say
they're
if
all
it's
like, we could all kind of
yeah.
be with each other on certain days.
Yeah.
And
Like I'm thinking about like if it's you and then like my brother Adam and Frank, like I'd be like
Yeah.
like, dude, come on. Like
No.
like hit your driver. Like stop doing this. Oh, look how good at golf I am. Crap. Like
Oh no! I'm
to
putting-
your
Well,
no no.
I
I'm-
am.
it's to your
I am
point.
beating you all
It's-
by 12
No,
strokes if I
well,
can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll,
so-
you'll definitely beat them by 12 strokes. Yeah.
Well,
no problem.
But that's, so you've got the novice golf,
Yeah.
like the beginner golfer, or just even somebody that's maybe not as strong. But are you playing? So now are you playing them, or are you just playing the course? Like, which
Right.
one are you
Yeah.
going out there? And different ones are different days, I guess.
I think of
Like
it
if you're
more
just
as
out there
like,
to,
if you have a novice golfer, I didn't learn course management until I'm 26 now, so probably not until I was 23. And I played high school golf, right? And
high school.
no, I'm saying like
I know.
I had
I know, I
coaches
know.
and things
Yeah, yeah.
that
Yeah.
they just never really taught us anything, you
Yeah.
know, like, and that's where when I'm with novice golfers, I almost like want to teach them about course management, as in like most people don't talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So when I'm playing
That's a
with
big
Frank,
part.
for example, I'm out here like, hey, why you got a 5-iron out? You don't need it to go more than 150 yards here. Just
Yeah.
get it somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But
No, so I think mostly like I'm gonna go out there, and I'm usually just playing to beat my best score.
Yep.
Like to score the best, right? Like I don't really care too much about what. Well, I do. So I do care about what the other guys are shooting or the other players I'm with are shooting. But so there's also a level. Like I know that when we go, like you're gonna have me by probably a couple strokes. Like that's typically
Yeah.
how it goes, right? So if you're playing well, and I'm playing well, and you get me by a couple strokes, okay, because that's how it should be.
yeah. Do you kind of handicap in your head of like, I do that when I play with like really, really good golfers. I handicap before the round almost of like, I just don't want to lose by more than 3 strokes or 5 strokes to this guy.
Yeah, yeah. I think
In a
and
way,
I think
right,
that's the
like-
same thing. Like, if I play well and I get beat by somebody else playing well, like even like when we played the other day, and as far as handicaps go, I'm a couple strokes better than you are. but we both shot an 81, and you went, what, 39-42?
Yep.
And I was 41-40?
Yep.
So, like, we both played well. I
Yeah.
think we both can say, like, there's some strokes that we could get back.
Quite a few for me.
But
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
but you know what? Like, your recovery on some of those were fantastic.
Yep.
Like, again, your driver was not your friend the last 6 holes.
Yep.
Something like that. And you still carded a 42 on the back.
Yeah.
Like, that's really good.
81 when you don't have your tee balls going as well as you want them to
No.
is not an easy task.
No.
Yeah.
I'm usually
Well, thank you.
I'm usually 85. I'll say when my
Yeah.
tee balls are just all over the place.
Well,
But
and it
so-
wasn't even advancing it. So it wasn't like my usual slice where there was one. But like even that at the course we played, it was honestly one of those things. And we talked about it on, I think on 18, because I was like, Steve, I'm just going to smash it because I was topping it. So
Yeah.
I was just dunk, 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 and it was going,
He's going
50
Right.
yards.
50 to 150 yards, depending
Like,
on
yeah.
the roll and the
But-
top and whatever grass it hit.
Like,
whatever.
Even the
Early
one,
March grass it
the
hit.
one slice I hit on the one hole over the lake, like I was fine over there because I was so far right
Yeah.
that I could hit it over the trees.
Yep.
But even on like 18, we talked about it and we were like, well, if you just smash it and it goes left or right, you're fine. You're in a fairway either way. It's kind of,
Yeah.
they were kind of, here and there like courses, but I mean, yeah, that's what I said after the round. I was like, holy cow, like for not hitting my driver at all,
Yeah.
really, in the second half of that round, I'll take it.
And if I so again, we tied 81. I'm okay with that because 81 right now at the beginning of the season, like, sure, I'll take that. Like 80 again is kind of my breaking point.
Yeah.
Like if I'm above 80,
Yep.
there's probably some strokes. If I'm below 80, awesome, I played really well. And then, but if we tie at 94 each, like I'm just upset because I just shot
94.
Like there's
Yep.
there's a lot of strokes that I should have gotten back on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so I'm okay with that. So yeah, there's a little bit of like playing the player and handicapping with the player and like yeah, I should beat in theory I should beat Cole by a couple strokes and then you should beat me by a couple strokes and that's how it goes. But again, if we both go tie and shoot a 92, like that's not
Oh, that was a
neither of us are
terrible
happy.
day.
I'm
Yeah.
not happy that I tied you because it was a 92.
Yeah.
And you're not happy that we tied because it was 92. Like again, if we both tie and shoot a 79,
Oh,
I don't think either of us are upset about
no,
that, right?
absolutely not. I'll
Like,
take that all day.
I'm just worried about this. I'm worried about the 79. Now, if I go 78, 79 and I beat you by one, like there's a little extra like that I got going on because then I got you. But and it's still like, all right, you still shot a 79. Like that's really good. And I shot in 78,
Oh, I'd
which
be
is one better
pissed.
than you.
I'd
but
be pissed because
you'd
I would
be
sit
mad
there
'cause
and
you
go,
lost,
this
right?
course is easy.
yeah, if Steve could shoot a 78,
I should have been
Oh,
able to
boy.
play better. No.
Yeah.
But that's where I think I mentally actually struggle a lot within golf is we could go, you shoot a 74, I shoot a 75. Some of our best rounds.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pissed.
because you lost.
Yeah. I'll be not as pissed, but I'll be pissed because
Yeah.
I get too competitive and that's
So
where
what
I
if
get
you
in my own head.
what if you go out with somebody like we just talked about how you handicap it with other people. You go out and play with somebody that's 2 strokes better than you handicap wise.
Yep.
And it's 74, 75. Their side. They hit 74, you hit a 75. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Now this is when I'm actually competitive with people, which I think at any given day, any 3 of us could take the other 2, right?
Yeah.
Because you could have a great day, right? And the other 2 could have just an okay or average day. And in Cole's case, a really
Yeah,
bad
you would.
day,
Yeah. I was gonna say I would have. Yeah.
You're gonna wait for
No,
both of us to turn to Cole and be like, But you like
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
can
You could go out
again.
and
You
shoot
can
a
go out,
78, and
Yep.
we
even
shoot our
so.
average
You just go
82
shoot an
and-
81 like you did, and
Yep.
we shoot an 83, which again
Right.
isn't terrible,
But it's still.
but it's still like
See, that's where I'm like,
you're like,
See,
I should have beat him.
My problem is I still have the duffs. So I still like our intro.
Yeah.
Like I still have those, right? Like those, that's my crutch right now before I can start worrying about like, oh, I need to hit a draw here. I need to like
Yeah.
I have my irons where they're at. Like I don't duff those really at all anymore. It's the wedges are getting better. My putter's insane now. And now it's just back to the old driver, which has been my
yeah,
problem
what,
forever.
What is this
So-
putter thing?
What? Like how I got
this
so
is,
much
this
better?
is ridiculous.
How good I am at putting?
I've been putting since I was 4 years old, and I still can't
Really?
even
Since
get it
you're
in the
4?
vicinity. Oh yeah,
Wow.
So-
I've been probably
Might wanna
playing
re-
on courses
might
since
wanna
I was
return your
6.
putter.
No, I
mean,
love his putter.
golly.
I hit a couple putts with his putter. It's very
Nah,
comparable to mine.
Are you-
I've hit
so
every
now are
single
you
putter
switching
known
putter?
to mankind.
Are you switching back?
I
You
don't
said
know.
you're going to switch back.
I
Oh,
used,
back
talking
to
about
the
it.
I
blade?
used
He's
my
going back-
mallet.
he's going back to the Scotty,
I used my
the
mallet
blade.
today. I did
And?
not go back to the Scotty because I got too afraid. But I putted pretty well. I'll show you.
So I'll say, this. How were the greens?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
So, because
Nah.
last time we played that course,
we did not even putt. Really.
putting wasn't even an option. It was
No.
like, yeah, cool. You can just scoop it up and go.
Nah.
Just because it was so early in the season and they weren't mowed, rolled. There's still twigs and stuff all over the place.
where my ball was on each green, I had an okay putt. There were still some like dead spots or some chunks and things like that.
Yeah.
But overall, it honestly looked like it had been somewhat rolled.
So I'm guessing by
Yeah,
now, with the weather that
Yeah.
we've been having,
when
most
we
courses
went, it was
can
like
go.
a tee box
Yeah.
on the green.
Yeah.
So it was. We would putt it at the hole. Yeah, that's really all we did.
That's
Yeah.
when I played at Eagle Crest, it was like putting on
Yeah,
concrete
you said ice. Yeah.
or ice. That's a better way to put it.
Yep.
Concrete might be a little bouncy.
Yep.
But it was lightning fast. And when
That's
you've been
weird.
putting on carpet for
Yep.
Yeah.
2 months,
Yeah.
and then you come out here and you tap one and it flies
Yep.
50 feet, you're like, ah.
Well, a little
I
different,
have-
little different
That
speed.
didn't-
little different speed.
I have
Goes plan.
2 tricks. So when I putted, I think it was with you. I was putting like crap, and I was taking the Pine Knob. I putted good there. That's when I
putted-
figured it out.
So-
So I can't take the putter back super far. So I just take it back a good 2 inches or so, and then it's my power through it is how I create my speed. So
Okay.
I only on leg putts will I do the whole, because my issue is that that's why I switched to the mallet is with my blade. I was always hitting it here, 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 here. I couldn't hit the center of the face. So I was like, all right, I'm not good enough to continue using this putter. I love that putter. Gold, it was a gold ping. Oh, loved it. But I was like, I'm not good enough. I need to go get a mallet. I just sucked it up. I got it. It's perfect for me. And then
yeah, you had to suck it up and get a Scotty Cameron.
Yes,
How-
I did.
That's terrible.
It is
Poor
terrible.
Cole.
I know. I
Man.
cried to the girlfriend. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't get embarrassed by Steve and Mike anymore. I need a Scotty.
Ah.
And then that
Man, we'll talk- yeah.
mat has helped me tremendously. Just with like, putting is already hard enough.
Right.
You just if you're hitting it crooked off the face, you're never gonna make a putt ever. So it's like, and then reading greens, we talked about it. I do it quick. I just go, all right, I think it's doing this. I just go. Like, even in my scrambles, I'll even tell my brother, and
That's the
he's
next podcast.
a halfway decent putter. I'll even be like, I just need to go first. There's something about it. If I see the putt, I almost overthink it,
Uh-huh.
and I try to hit the exact same line, and it's like I'm almost better to just instinct.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
I mean, there is a big difference. There's a lot of the people that are just kind of like the feel putters, like they just put off a feel and they just look and they go. Or then there's the other ones that are kind of more, I guess you might call them technical,
well, that's how
where they're lining everything up and
that's
they
how
get
Keegan
down. and-
Bradley does his aim points. He doesn't even aim point. He just feels it, and he just goes, I think it's gonna go here. He's improved his putt. He's almost like he's like top 50 or something.
See, that's where, because I'm more technical. I line my ball up. I try to hit my line. I look at it, and I've improved, believe it or not, because I know it looks bad, but I used to be like god awful, like 3-putting 5-6 times around.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I started lining it up, and I've started hitting better lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
My speed is still.
Yeah, I was gonna say
atrocious.
every time I play with you, it seems like you're just trying to hammer it at the hole. Like you're trying to make every single one, and that's like
Well, yeah.
okay, but you're the one that told me, hey.
The point of golf
No.
is to get it in the hole.
So
Whoa.
little backstory here.
No,
What?
I was doing
I
the
know.
exact
Oh, man.
same thing, and this was last year, so I was still like brand new into it, whatever. And he's like, I don't remember where we were. I just kept blowing it by the hole like bad. And he was
Coyote.
like, when you're playing by yourself, like stop trying to make everything, because I was blowing it by 10, 15 feet to that point where
There's your recipe
you
for
are
three
going to
putts.
3-putt.
Yeah.
Unless
Like-
you're inside 5 feet.
Yeah, it's a
Lag it.
failure. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like, it's one of those things. And then when I go play scrambles, I have to take my mind back out of it, which is hard because I'll leave some putts short. But now I'm to that point, and I told you about it. I was like, I'm not leaving any birdie, eagle, whatever, never leaving those short, but I can't blow it by.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want it to, I think it was I think it was Max Homer or whatever. He says he wants it to just trickle in. Like that's perfect
Right.
speed. And sometimes like Pine Knob, my speed was off because I was not hitting it light enough. I was hitting it too hard, so it was just always going zoop, zoop.
Yeah, but you hit every lip
Yep.
on that. Like
Yep.
you're, yeah.
Yep.
He
Lips are
burned the edges
infectious.
of,
Yeah,
I
I
think,
did.
every hole out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
But
that,
there are different styles. So I'm more of like the drip over the front putter.
Yep.
And there are some that like to get to like the back of the cup putter.
yep, rammer.
Yeah. But I think going forward, like for me, like I'm going to start realizing what putt should I make or what putt shouldn't I make and get upset over, kind of like
Right.
gauge my emotions on that.
Because we wanted to pull our percentages of against like your average golfer's percentages.
Yeah.
Of an 8-foot putt.
An 8-foot putt is,
I think of that as probably 30-40%. It's not.
it's probably not that high.
Isn't
No,
it like
for an average.
15? It's
Probably like
absurd.
50.
Yeah.
Like, once
you
you get-
think about it, like
Once you get past the 5, it just goes shoo.
Oh,
Yep.
it's
Like when
crazy.
they show it on the, because PGA will typically say like, oh, the percentage to make this putt.
Yeah.
Like there was one, it was like a 20-footer, like up the hill, perfect little, I think right to left or whatever, and it was like 0.1 or something. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the pros percentage.
pros percentage
That's
of
not
making
even
those
just
shots.
us.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's
it's-
where I think the PGA Tour fails, because they only show, and I know why they do it, and I shouldn't say fail, but they only show the guys making those. So it's program me
Yep.
of watching
that
golfers
you
over
should
my
make
life.
them, that you should make them.
Those,
Yeah.
how often they make those, and it's like when you really go look at their numbers, they don't make them that
They
often.
don't make them, no. Yeah, it's
They
just
make
when they're
one
showing.
every 8 rounds.
Yeah, and
then
I
it's
like it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always liked it because we'd come home from church and the start would be on when I was little, and that was always best because not everyone was on the course yet, so they would show those. They would show the misses. You would
Right.
see like the first couple people out. You would see their duffs. Duffs, but not my
Yeah.
duffs. Their duffs.
Their duffs. Yeah, a
And
little different.
You would see that, and then once they got like 2 hours into the program, they would do go in. Mike made a putt 15 feet on this, and you're like, you think every single one goes
Right.
in.
Yeah.
And then you look at his score, and you're like, oh, he's like 2 over. Like, what's
Yeah.
it's that whole media
He's not
thing.
that good.
It's like, oh, this guy is sinking
again,
every
I'll
Two
still-
over from the
I'll-
tips
I'll still
on a pro level course. Oh, that's terrible.
Go back to the golf game thing.
Yeah.
So you're at now is your baseline. You can improve one thing, and
Driver.
it can be. Well, you gotta let me.
I don't know. That's just what I want to improve the most on.
That was so
And
good.
yeah,
You knew right
so like why that, and like for me, like the Duff wedges,
Yeah.
those drive me nuts.
So
and
is
the
it-
ability to be so technical with every shot I want is
So for your wedges, is it more like full wedge shots, or is it a
All
certain
of it.
yardage in, like
all of it.
100 in or 50 in, or between
Yeah,
like 50
like,
and 80, or
I've been
what are you
playing
thinking?
with the flighty little shot that has more spin, like that. Like doing things like that, you have like your ball on the string pretty much. Like you can put it wherever you want. And then
If you can
back
do
to,
that,
like,
then you'll be playing on the weekends
right.
and we'll be
Well,
watching on TV.
Yes,
on-
exactly. But
on ESPN
like,
Plus.
Like it's just one of the. It's just one of those things. It's like that's where you make all your strokes up. Like even just
Yeah.
this putting thing, like that took me from the high 90s down to the low 90s last year, and
Right.
I wasn't even putting great last year, and that was
Weren't in
still
the 90s last year.
at the very beginning.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I was
But
gonna say, by the end of the year, you were low 80s.
The best
mid-80s.
the best rounds, my low 80s, my high 70s were the chips were closer. I won't say close, not as close as I was chipping like crazy, and but
Yeah.
like even it was hole 3 was my double bogey. Like that went bunker, back to bunker. Like
Yeah.
still made a double because my putting's good, and it's like, dude, just get close, just bogey, it's fine. Like just get close, and it's. But yeah, those like George's brother is amazing with his wedges, and he takes weird like the
George's
things.
brother.
Yeah, Wesley. The way I saw.
As if he's not the PGA player.
Yeah, I know. Well, we all like George better, but like
I
it's
actually
so
like Wesley.
crazy how he.
Brian Bros, if you want to play,
He
let us know.
almost does. Yeah, if you want to destroy us, let us know. But like he just does like a full swing, and it's all deceleration. But I was just playing around with it over here, and that's how he gets so much spin because he's always just hitting it so
But
pure.
he's not decelerating.
Yeah.
He's just letting the club drop.
It's insane.
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's-
just,
that's
I mean,
why
all
you're
it's a
dumping.
different level.
'Cause
You're
even-
stopping
yeah.
though.
'Cause
Sorry, I
even
don't
when-
want to get into that. We can
Yeah.
No, you're
play
good.
with that a little bit.
But even when we were messing around at Hilltop, like that like even when we first started, I was telling him, because it's all feel, right? Like you have your clock method or whatever. Remember, you go 9 o'clock, whatever. And I kind of have that same thing where I'm like, all right, I'm this out. I usually do a half with a decent like yada yada yada. But like playing at Hilltop, I was like, whoa, I lost all feel through the winter because the range you can only feel so much, and it's like
Yeah, I'm hitting off turf.
it took a
different
minute
than
to
AstroTurf.
get, and we were chipping 17 balls because we were just messing around. But like it took a while to get that feel back. But I think that and putting, if you're very good at both of those, like obviously you still have to get there, but like you just you'll just suck it up and do your 4-iron, whatever crap. So
Yeah, no. So my thing is my driver. Like that's what I want to get more consistent, because I feel if I can be consistent with that, my irons are good enough to put me in a spot to score. Like my short irons, my full wedges to like the 8. I think I'm consistent enough there that I can score off of that. And then you and I actually had this conversation.
We did.
Last week or a couple weeks ago, whatever it was. But like, so I'm going to go, if I got to rank them, I'm going to go driver. Then I'm going to go like chipping and pitching, like that around the green area there.
We were saying like 50 yards in,
Yeah,
30 yards
50
in.
yards, 30 yards in. Some, probably a little closer, probably more like 30 yards in. Even just more so, like if I just missed the green. Like I want to be able to consistently give myself a chance for a realistic one putt. Right? Like, so if you're drawing circles and around the cup and you're like, all right, these 3-foot circles, kind of like a gimme, if you will, right? Like you should hit that one.
Right.
I'm going to say 90% of the time. I don't know what the numbers really are, but probably roughly around 90% of the time, right?
Like
and then you get
circles.
and then you get the 5-foot circle,
Yep.
and then that's going to go, maybe 50% of the time there. So if I can get within that like 5-foot, 6-foot circle there to just give me a chance, rather than more often than not being 12, 15 feet away off of a chip. And even like I'll have some of the Duff chips and pitches and stuff like that where you decelerate, or you don't, for me it's more of a commitment thing. Like I don't want to skull this one, or I don't want to do like smash it over, so I'll decelerate and I won't commit to the shot. And I thought he did a much better job when we played Green Oaks the other day of just, there's even the one on, I think it was 16, was at the long par 4 into the wind, when I pulled my 8-iron right and I was kind of down, and it was a really hard pan, muddy dirt lie, and I just like, I'm just going to commit to hitting it, and I pitched it exactly how I wanted to, went over, and it rolled off the back of the green a little bit, but that was the pitch that I wanted. Like that's the shot I wanted to hit, and I hit it, and I just got to commit to it. So I'm going to go driver, like I'll just even say 20 yards in, like missing a green from an approach shot, like that area there, and then putting. I think that's how I tier my 3. I think we can all say putting is
Not
probably
this
going to be
guy.
on the list. Well, master putter over here, Mr. Scotty Cameron.
Maybe I just need to get a Scotty.
Oh
wait, I had one.
Oh,
already,
you had
and
one,
it
and you
sucked.
went away from it. I don't know.
So
No, it
say
didn't
the
suck. I love
30,
that putter.
So
30, 40 in is if I had to make mine more specific.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the driver, obviously. But, I mean, I could even be more broad on it, the more, like, flexibility with how I can shape my shots. I still have no control over any of that.
I would work on the keeping it somewhat consistent for the driver. Like just know a shot shape, like whatever it's going to be. Like if you're going to hit a little fade, or if you're going to hit a little draw, like that's fine.
Because, I mean, I was to the point, it was last summer, seriously, it didn't matter how tight the fairway was. I was like, I'm hitting my driver. And I will hit it right down the middle every single time. And I need to get back to that because that was awesome. But that was where my game was. Now I'm my 7-iron, which 7 down for me. You said 8 down for you. Like, I'm very, very confident that if the yardage is right and I'm not stupid and hit the wrong club, like it's gonna get on
Like
there.
you mistake a 6 for a 9 iron?
Right,
Like
right,
one of
right,
those?
right. No, or like cart path
Or-
only. I run out there without the
Yeah.
wrong club. Whatever.
Nothing's worse than that.
love
I
cart
know,
path.
but like that's where I'm at now with my irons. Like I can hit almost any of my irons wherever I want right now. So it's like now I'm back to, well, crap. Now I can't drive the ball as good as I used to. But that's where I was last year. It's like I
Yeah.
played a tight course in Macomb, and it took 6 hours because the back nine took 4 hours. But whatever, that's besides
Yeah.
the point.
Another topic.
Literally, like they were super tight fairways. You had to hit over a creek on almost all of them, so you had to carry it. So I had to hit it hard.
Yeah.
And it was like every single one, just right down the middle. Nice little butter cut, everything. Then I had to break my driver, but that's okay.
That's all right.
But you
Works.
live
So-
in Michigan, so we have this fun little 3-4 month off to just take whatever you did last year.
And throw
No,
it out the
that
window.
was-
out the window
And you get to
restart.
redo
That
it all over.
was-
You get to find it all over again.
That was right before and you played with me. It was probably later on in the summer where I was just slicing every single driver, every single
Oh,
one.
yeah, it was
didn't
bad.
matter. Like
Yeah.
it was so bad for a while.
It was weird too because your other clubs were still
Yep.
relatively consistent.
Yep.
Your driver was just out of nowhere. Granted, I went through a little stint
Yep.
like that too, where I was just, everything.
Yeah.
Now I'm hitting a weird, random hook.
Yeah.
with a driver.
Yeah.
You hit a beautiful little butter cut.
I don't hit
That's
cuts
what you-
anymore.
Wow.
That's what I'm concerned about.
That's
No,
what you
I
need.
was telling
that's where
him-
your,
Mikey
that's where your
Cuts
mon-
is
that's,
gone.
that's where your money. That's
Mikey
where your
Cuts
money
is
spot
gone.
is.
But
Yeah.
I was telling him, and it's with this new tempo that I have. It's almost
Which
like
is lovely, by the way.
if I- thank
I've
you.
told you. It's,
He
yeah.
also told
It's-
me while you
it's-
weren't around, by the way.
Yes.
So that's how you know
yeah,
it's true.
You know it's true when it's
But
behind your back,
it's-
and we compliment you.
It's I mean, it's probably just hitting the golf ball how it should be hit, but I'm hitting it so straight that if I just come around just a tiny bit, it's having I'll hit a nice little beautiful barely draw.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember you telling me he's the one person that's ever complained about a draw. Well, I'm set up to hit a fade, Mike. That's why. But
Yeah,
like
well.
it's nice though because it's where it was 20 yards this way or 20 yards this way. It's like 5 and 5. I like just if I hit the iron good, it just drops for me, and I don't know. I like my irons. I won't say it's the irons because I've played a lot more golf lately.
Yeah. Never got to you on your, like, what are you looking to improve this year?
I think we already talked about it, but putting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's why, I went out and played today and it was 38, 39 degrees. And the only reason I did that instead of going to a range or something is because I need to putt. Especially coming out of the winter and all that. Like, I've played on sims. I've played in, we have golf domes, all that, but nothing.
Indoor training facilities that we're
Indoor-
sitting in right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now they have a putting green,
Yep.
which I can now use, but
Yep.
just gotta get out there and
Yeah.
get back into being more consistent with it. But I think a lot of it has to do with I don't put myself in good positions ever.
Okay.
I
So just having the wrong miss, or you're putting yourself too far away, where
I'm
like
not
all right,
giving
it's a-
myself the right miss, if that makes sense. So when I was playing my best last year,
Yeah.
and which I've gotten away from and I want to get back to, is I would look and be like, okay, there's a bunker on the left, nothing but rough on the right, pins on the left side. I'm going right. Like I'm gonna play off the edge of the bunker if I happen to get it close, whatever. But
Yeah.
then my miss is most likely going to be to the right, and I'll be chipping out of decent
Decent-
grass,
decent something,
have
yeah.
more green to work with. When now, which I don't know where this confidence has come from, but I'm like, oh yeah, I can put that close.
I can
He's
take on
flag
that. I can
stick
take
hunting.
on that
He
pin.
is
Oh, yeah, I
flag
can put it
stick
within
hunting.
2 years. 2 yards. 2 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. Might take you 2 years
Yeah,
to
it
get
might
that
take you
confidence.
2 years to
Yeah,
get back to
get
that,
that putting
yeah.
going.
But no, that because I think my driver's been going well.
Yes.
Even my misses haven't been nearly as bad as they were in the past. My long irons are getting there to a point where I'm fairly confident in them now. My low irons are pretty good. Now my wedges and just overall short game. So 30 yards and in.
Yeah.
I'm just really
Yeah,
struggling.
I would say in playing with you, your driver has been lights out.
lately.
It's annoying.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's annoying.
It is, and again, for somebody
It's
that,
annoying.
that maybe thinks
Hey.
they struggle more with the driver than they actually are. Like, yeah,
this
it's
is-
annoying, but
this is the
it
thing
is
that you miss.
fantastic.
It's annoying to me too because I don't know why. So if I ever lose
Well,
this,
I think that's the same thing with any of it. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
why my driver
Well,
has gone from a strong point
Right.
to a weak
Right.
point,
Yeah.
or my long. I used to love my long irons. Now again, I get them in my hand and I'm like, this is new. Like, what is this thing? Like, golf, that's a cool sport.
well, do you tinker
But-
with your driver?
No, nope,
Okay. I'm
Nothing.
a tinker.
I don't tinker.
That's what I've been doing lately because I've been learning how it bends and moves and what the weights do and all that.
Yep.
And I've been tinkering a lot.
I had to go to a simpler one because of that. So
'Cause you
I had the
tinkered too much?
425. Yeah, so I had the 425, and that has the like loft and lie plus the degree plus the weight on the end, kind of like yours has.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I would mess with that. We messed with it the one time, and it
And you've
actually
got the Stealth 2, right?
I got the
It
Stealth 2
actually-
Plus.
Okay, Stealth 2 Plus.
it
I got the
actually
weight
and then
yeah, so you have
slider
two
and-
weights. You have two weights on yours, right? Because it's the
No.
one on the front
Well,
and the one on the back.
The slider, yeah,
Yep.
is
So-
technically
That's
a
kind of
weight.
the biggest.
I just had to
do you
go
adjust?
to a.
I think it's all a gimmick.
yeah. I mean,
The
in a
back weight,
sense,
no. I think
The slider is 100%, but that's a tailor made.
makes
I don't know about
Right.
that one. I'll
It-
call you out on that one.
That's a tailor made thing
probably
though,
does make
because
a
then when they
difference,
came
but-
out with the literal
The slider.
sliders, it
Yeah.
was that thing, and then
Yeah.
the Woods have it as well.
Yeah.
But the 425, I think the end weight does. It makes sense. It turns like the draw one on top, turns the top of the face more to the left for
that's
us.
and it's like with the QI10,
Yes.
which I never thought about this. When they show the ball going through, it keeps it more stable or lets it open up more, whatever it is, right? And your
Yeah.
weight that you have going through is
Yeah.
what kind of changes that.
Yeah. So I just needed a cheap one because my old one broke, and then I wanted a low spin, but not a low spin like tour driver. So like I want to say I can hit a triple diamond, but I can't hit a triple diamond. I can't hit LST from Ping, nor do I want to. Like I can barely hit yours. Like that's the thing,
true.
and that like the stealths are pretty close. They're not as like the triple diamond compared to the normal paradigm. It's so different. Like the triple diamond has a fade bias just because it's a tour driver, and then the other ones have draw bias. It's so different. They're also really loud, which is strange. But I went with I have the Rogue ST LS or whatever, ST Max LS, and it's a 9. So really, all I tinker with on that is Callaway has the loft and lie.
Yeah.
So I think I have it +1 draw. So it's 10 degrees with the draw bias.
Yeah.
Just because I fade the ball, and I don't know. I can't. Well, I hit the ball. I topped the ball right now.
Now you're top the ball.
So I have killer top spin. So,
So I'm gonna get you a longer tee. I'll get you like a, I don't know, like a
I
barbecue
need
skewer
a
or something
3.5.
like that.
Yeah.
A shish kebab skewer.
But that's what's frustrating.
Just
though,
stick it in
like,
there.
Even at
Baseball
Downing,
swinging
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
like at Downing, we all drove it within 5 feet of each other. Like,
That was a crazy
So-
a crazy
Well,
hole. The
Steve
one
was 5 feet from me, and then you were 5 feet from him. So
no,
you were 10
we were
feet
equal.
From me.
We were equal. You were a little ahead of us.
but you could throw a blanket over that.
Oh,
Like
that was
and
So,
that
like-
was
that was
so that was
incredible.
that was funny because I think you hit it first.
Yep.
Yes.
And again, hit it hit one really well.
Yeah.
And then Cole steps up.
I think you went before me.
No.
'cause I
Then-
remember Steve's face
then-
after you hit
Then
one.
you went up and
Oh,
you smoked it.
really?
I was like, son of a gun. Here we go. All
I
right,
remember
come.
him like kind of sauntering up. He's like, well,
Well, here we go. Let's see what this is going to do.
Frank goes, I'm pissed off.
Yeah. Frank knew what Frank was going to do. Again, as a new golfer, like getting into it, like whatever, Frank
Yeah.
was going to do what Frank was going to do. And then I'm like, I get up there. It's like, all right, well, let's do this. And then I hit one. I was like, yeah, that was pretty good. And then as we're driving up or walking up, we're like, all right, there's one, there, two, they're all like right here.
That was cool.
And it pained me that you were ahead of both of us, to be honest.
it pained me that I wasn't further.
Wasn't
ahead.
further. Yes. So going
because-
going back to the previous conversation of like, are you happy because it was am I happy because it was a good drive? Yes. Am I a little upset that you got me by like 3 yards? Yep.
It didn't pain me though because I felt like I should have gotten you by more. It pained me because I felt like I absolutely obliterated that one.
I think all three of us did though.
No,
That's
you
the
know
thing.
how-
that's the thing
And
is
then,
in
like,
my
oh,
head.
Well, that's where
with
you're
the
wrong.
three of us.
You know how I felt? I felt like that was my stock nice.
You're
I'm just
stock,
joking.
not- yeah.
I hammered that. After
Gosh.
I
I mean-
saw yours, and it was a dog leg right, so I was like, I can
Oh.
slice the leg and you know what's out of this, and it's fine. And
When
that's
it's that
well.
that favorable dog
Yep.
leg right. I am just ready to just,
well,
just
when
let
you
go.
hit yours pure, it's dead straight. Like you could put a string on it for you.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
when I hit mine the farthest, it gets high because I hit my new driver low. So when I hit it, how I hit it out there, and that's max for me. Like if I swing harder, I'm gonna fall on my butt.
Yeah.
But on the other spectrum of this thought here,
Yeah.
I'm just happy I'm close to you two. So I'm
No,
over
I
here
mean-
Maggie was even like, "Oh my God, you tied Steve! That's so great!" 'Cause,
Yeah.
like they know how good a golf, like she knows how good a golfers you two are. So it's like for me, it's can I just compete in a sense? Like me and Joe taking you, I was on top of the world. Like that was, and I
greatest
understand. We will
downfall.
sit like I will sit here and say yes, it's 2v1. 2v1's always going to beat you, 100%.
I played
And
fantastic that day, though.
I-
I'm not even gonna lie.
the other
what I shoot
problem-
a 77,
yeah,
and
Yep.
I didn't even notice because I was
and we
losing.
shot 71.
So again, like
Yep.
Yeah.
you're
But-
mad. You're mad
but-
that you lost in a
But why?
two-man scramble to a single person and you shoot a 77.
Well,
Why
like
am
the
I
other
mad?
that's the competitive
the
edge.
other problem
Yeah.
too is that you were playing me on a good day for the majority of what I
Well,
was
you guys
doing.
hustled me.
No, you're the one that wanted
You
to bet.
hustled.
You're the
You
one that
probably
wanted to
brought
bet
it
money.
up.
Hustled me.
No,
No.
he did. He said
No.
$50.
I did. You want to know why? Cole walks onto the course and goes, "Oh, I haven't hit a golf ball in like 2 months." And then I was
Cool.
like,
You want to bet?
"All right, let's bet." Smacks one. I go,
Sweet.
"You paid like yesterday, didn't you?" And he was like, "I played like a couple days ago." And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay,
No,
sounds
so-
great."
Funny
And had
story.
a great day.
Good little
I didn't,
sandbag
I
and
didn't
Cole.
hit
Well
it,
done.
I didn't hit a good drive. I hit a worm burner because that was always my cold driver.
You
was
did.
just the miss. It went though, but the problem was that I did play the day before that, and
Right.
I was hitting my irons amazing, and I was like, Mike, and putting great, and chipping great.
You had a couple putts that were,
And I was like,
phenomenal.
Mike, you're in trouble because I know how, like, Joe is my fairway finder. So I can play just as crazy as I want, and it frees me up. It's like when I play with my dad, I play like a maniac. And I usually play bad because I'm playing that way. But it's he hits the fairway. He's old.
Yeah,
Like I was telling you.
old man golf.
Old man golf. He tries to hit it as far as me he can.
Experienced
It's
at
okay.
life golf.
Experience at life golf.
Experience at life. Trademark.
Thank you.
Seabach.
Seabach trademark.
But that does free you up in a sense, and then just obviously the scramble helps.
Yeah.
But like when I'm putting that way, I was like, Mike, you're not. I didn't think we would get under par. I didn't think that because
Yeah.
like Joe is
A two-man,
Joe is
I was-
two-man
decent.
scramble to go under par though is, I think it's pretty solid.
That's very solid.
Well, and
they
Joe,
played really well.
Yeah,
For
and
even
Joe is
just-
a mid 90 golfer, and I right about then I think I was maybe like 83, 84 average around there. So I wasn't playing like the best. My driver was still sporadic.
and I was coming off of a 76.
Yep.
I
So
was
you
feeling
had
you
good.
feel
played
good.
and
And then I walk onto the first tee, and I did the same thing Cole did. Though I said, "Oh, feeling tight."
you
just
duck
got
hook-
out of the
you
car.
duck, yeah, you
and
duck
just
hooked one.
straight in the left trees. I
Yep.
was like,
But-
"Well,
Well, that's how we're gonna go
gonna
But
be
today.
a
yeah,
long
you can't
day.
Yep.
you can't single-handedly like compete with someone that hits the fair. Like that's the most frustrating thing. And like even the Joel guy we played with, like I was like so frustrated because he always just hit the fairway.
Yeah.
And he was just not a nice fella at the beginning.
Oh, he was- yeah.
He's fine at the end.
He
But,
was
like
fine. He
that's
once he
what
got to- yeah.
that's what was frustrating is it was like dude, you never miss a fairway. And it's like,
but you could do that.
oh, I know, but I
You were more than long enough off the tee
Yeah.
with your long irons and your woods.
we did it.
We're gonna keep the 3-wood in the bag.
Yep.
But
Oh, I'm great with it now.
Use the hybrid.
I'm great with it now.
Hybrid, baby.
Yep.
Keep that one going.
Yeah,
That's
no,
your, money, that's
so
your money
that
club.
Caddy Steve at Pine Knob front nine. That's practically all we did was you and I were bantering back and forth.
Yep.
Hey, you know, we need this left. Let's hit this. Let's hit that. Let's hit this. Let's hit that. Then we go to the back nine, and I fall apart, hitting my driver into the same lake on 2 different holes, which is hard to do, by the way. And
You did it.
other than that, it was like
Good job.
That
Congratulations,
right? I was like, well, might as well.
You want a
just-
trophy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a couple on my left over here.
But it's
Or I can
like
give you that guy.
Like you said, it's like just hit something like I can hit my hybrid on a good day 230, 245. I get a good roll. Like, how much further am I hitting my driver than that? 30 yards? So it's that kind of like, I hate the under, like the 80 less than that is where it gets a little, the feel shot.
Yeah.
And then like 105, 110 is a little uncomfortable for me because my 50, I don't even remember what club I have. 54 is like 115-ish.
Yeah.
And I got to hit it good. And it's like, it's one of those like, you got to kind of take a little bit off. And I don't like that because I haven't played enough to get that shot.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, just back it up just a little bit and hit a 9-iron. Like, what's wrong with that? Like,
Sure.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird. But if you can hit your driver, it's a weapon. Like, that's, you and I did it the one day where we were just so far up on every hole. We just hit wedges.
Oh,
And we were almost like,
you put a
oh.
wedge in my hand all
Yep.
day. I mean, I'm gonna play pretty well.
I mean, even the one
Yeah,
time we went
most
back a tee
of
at
us
Coyote, which we never do. We even went back. We usually play the whites. We played like the blues or something the one day on Coyote.
I always play the blues. I
Yeah,
thought.
we were confident. I don't know.
I don't remember. I'd have to look at the tees again. Coyote's got some weird colors. I did want to say this year, I think I might start pushing for the tips.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'll go
Not-
tips all day long.
Cool. Because I'm excited about that.
Unless it's over 7. Like
No, I'm not
7,000
going
is
over
like,
7.
that's really
68,
far.
68's like my
Yeah.
cap.
The reason I want to start going tips is because then when I play with other people and I get to move up a tee, I feel like I'll be so much
You're
more
going to feel more
confident.
confident?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good.
No,
yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
good.
And I
Yeah.
think that will help my game a lot.
Yeah.
And I haven't pushed myself to do that yet. And I think that's the last thing I need to push myself to
Yeah.
do is just go to the
Yep.
tips.
Well, that, and now we're walking.
Yep.
So we've
Our
got the
walkers.
time to think about our shot. And like you said, Cole, like cart path only, you're like, all right, cool, I'm going to grab a 9 and an 8. And you get over there like, ooh, I needed a wedge or I needed a 7.
Right.
So I don't really want to walk all the way
Yeah.
back there and get that club.
Right.
So I'm going to manipulate this one way or another. And it usually doesn't go the way you want
Well,
it to.
and
so
what?
now I've got my whole bag with me.
Right.
And I can just grab whatever I want and play from
Which
there.
I think changes just how you think about it
There's-
dramatically too, from a
Yeah.
standpoint of
Yep.
like, even when I bring those clubs over and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna hit an 8. It's not even a thought of like I need to go get this. But when I have my clubs in front of me and I'm looking at them, and I don't know if this happens to you, but I formulate different shots with them,
Okay.
Yep.
and I think I can see that in my head
Yeah.
better when I have the full bag. Whereas I got my 8-iron, I'm hitting my 8-iron.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit an 8-iron.
It's standard,
Yeah.
whatever. But when I have all these different ones, okay, now I see the course management better. I thought about it more.
Well, I
Like-
think it's bigger on the greens
Yeah.
too. Like when you're, even if you're just driving, and it's not cart path only, and you're close enough to the green where you shouldn't be driving a cart and
Yeah.
doing all that. Like, you've got your full arsenal. So, my go-to was my 60 before,
Right.
and I feel comfortable manipulating that one way or another to hit different shots. But now, I mean, I'm using my wedge more.
You're hybrid.
And I use my hybrid. And that's something, I mean, that's something that I want to do more. And I don't do it because I don't practice it. And I don't practice it because I don't want to do it. It's just kind of that vicious circle, right?
Right.
Like you're not better at it because you don't do it and you don't practice it and you don't practice it because you're not good at it. Like
The
that kind of
worst
thing.
part about golf is you just have to suffer through changes.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to do that, because I went through a swing change last year,
Yeah.
and I can still remember being like, why did I do this to myself? I couldn't break like 88. I was like, okay,
Yep.
this is just brutal. And that was like coming off of I think a 78 or 79 or something like that. And
Yeah.
I was like, man, what was I thinking? And then
Yeah, why do I need to change?
Right,
And
and
I
now
talked to
I've
Tiger.
gotten-
He'll tell you about a couple swing changes when the entire golfing world and the world itself is like, why do you change perfection?
Right.
Like,
And now I'm-
and trust me, I'm not saying that your golf swing was perfection.
but please don't. Please don't. But close, right? Right?
Yes.
No?
I mean,
Yes?
sure, whatever's
Oh,
going to make
come
you feel
on.
good.
It is of anyone I play with. Yes.
I hate
Have
Why do you
in person.
Why do you say that?
Well, I'm
to
just
him?
gonna be honest.
No,
we're adults
don't
here.
be honest.
Oh, no, I'm gonna say that
It's
now.
getting there.
I will
No,
lie to
just
him
listen.
as much as
No,
possible.
because we need to build him up, and then when we're on the course, we'll just hammer him down.
tear him down.
We'll be like, Mike, why don't you go back to how you used to swing? You were a lot better then.
I'll just tear him down.
You don't even know
Just-
what swing change I went through.
Dude, I can't. I
doesn't
don't
matter.
even.
It doesn't matter.
my
We'll still talk about it.
Yeah. My only thought is this ball just needs to fly in the air towards that pin thing. That's it. That's it.
That's a good swing thought.
Yeah.
But
It's a great one.
that's like
Just
it's
ball-
the plateauing
ball
out,
forward.
so you have to like
Ball forward.
that's what
Some days
people
that is
do.
my swing.
Yeah.
Just get the ball forward.
Ball forward.
But that's what people do with putters, and you brought it up. You asked him if he switched back. That's what a lot
Yeah.
of people will do with putters, though. They're like, I got to get better at putting. And they're like, it's going to suck for a long time. Like, you're going to be bad for a while. Like, when the arm lock craze was a thing. Like, that was this, like, okay, well, I've plateaued out. I need to get better at this. I can't get better at it with what I'm doing. So you're going to suck for, how long did it take? 3 months? 4 months?
Putting?
No, just your
No, you
swing.
still suck at
changing.
putting.
For changing.
Yeah, a month and a half.
Okay,
probably.
so like, it's gonna feel like forever, but like your ceiling gets higher. Like you're raising your ceiling to where you can perform. Because I mean, now he's saying 76 is where you were 79. Like at that point where you're at, like 3 strokes is everything.
right.
Yeah.
And that's what's so frustrating too, is that we're all like, you're what, a 7? Is that what we're saying?
7.
And that, so we're all within like 5, whatever. Like I'm the furthest behind, but like on any
Way far behind.
ish, whatever. On any day, it's just like those, like even from the 81 to a 79, like
Yeah.
I can do quick math here. That's 3 strokes. Wow, got it there. But like that's that's 2 strokes. You're
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That
don't
was
work
a-
in finance.
Yeah,
But
good.
either way, like you get what I'm saying. Like it's so frustrating.
You and Scotty
that-
Scheffler aren't in the same office.
Correct.
Doing
we're
your
not.
financial planning.
We're not. No. We are in different states. We might even be in different countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
probably
a little far away from him.
Yeah. He shoots 12 under. I shoot 12 over. So
To each his own.
hey, still close.
First podcast in the book.
Yep.
It was we just expect more of this, right? Like just
Yep.
kind of talking about what's going on in golf and going on with our games, and maybe asking some questions and doing some trivia and top 5 lists and stuff like
yeah.
that. So we'll get together next week and talk a little bit more about golf, and if we're out playing, let's tee 'em up, let's hit 'em straight, and see you guys in the next tee box.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Cool.
That's good.